Alright, so this happened again. This time I'm going to show you how to fix it the right way. So a few months I did a video about how to fix this, and it was actually a goofy video. I was actually trying to fix it without having to take off the valance and remove any screws and stuff like that. So I was just kind of wiggled around up there until I got it back on and did a latch after I repaired the screw that went into the nylon little train that rolls back and forth on the guides. So that is really, it worked, but it gave up again on the other side, as you can see. So the real way to fix it is to take off the rail up here. There's only a few screws here that you can take off, and then this will all come down, and it's very easy to get to the mechanism that's rolling on the guide there. But nonetheless, I can do that this time. But that nylon is probably all stripped out now, because what happens is, as the door is being held up by that screw into the nylon, you go over bumps, it's putting strain on it, and eventually it's going to break those nylon threads and it's going to fall out like this. So what I'm going to do instead is replace the whole mechanism with something that's a little bit more rugged. I got this pocket door kit. Let me swing the camera around. So I got this pocket door kit from Home Depot. Pocket door track and hardware kit. I got to cut it down to size. I did a few measurements. I think it's going to fit. We're going to find out once I get it out there. If it doesn't, then I'm going to have to figure out something else. So let me get started, show you what I'm going to do. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is lift it up over the guide as best I can. Probably have to just bring it all the way to the side. And see if I can slide this out. Might have to just put it over here for a minute. Might take another set of hands to do this. There you go. You had a helper, probably help, but so there you go. There's the nylon. The screw fell out somewhere. I'll have to find it. But what happens is the screw goes into this tap here, and those threads just get ripped out. All right, so. Go. It's off now. What I'm going to have to do is I'll move the camera in a second and show you. Alright, so I've got the rail out. Alright. I'll have to measure this. I know the rail goes right to about here. I marked that, so that's the whole length of it. Actually, I can just use the original as a template of how long it's going to be. So I'll just use this one as a guide of how long the new one needs to be. I'll cut that, and then I'll take off this mechanism and replace it. Oh, there's the other screw right there. Still is in there. I'll replace these mechanisms, get it bolted up there, and then hang it. So let's see how that goes. Alright, so look how much more robust the new one is. This is the new one. Here's the old one. You can see just smaller screw went into this, I don't even know where the nylon is now, but you can just see that it's not as rugged as this one. This one's some steel, aluminum, I guess it's steel, yeah. And it does have a nylon nut there, but it is threaded through this piece of steel. So, and this is much more robust as well. So I think we're going to have good luck with this one. One of the concerns that I had was that it may cause it to be a little bit lower, the door to be a little bit lower, hang a little bit lower, but I lined these up, and as you can see here, they sit in there, and if I pull them up, I got one hand on the camera so I can't do this, but these barely come up, and this one barely comes up, so it's gonna let the door hang at the same height, so that won't be an issue. Now I just gotta cut this down to size, make sure I got enough places to anchor it in, and then I'll have to put a stop to stop the train from rolling off. And then these right here will go on the top of the door. I've already removed one here, and luckily these are the right fit, and they'll go on there nicely. Two of them. Look at that. So you can see that mount is actually more rugged as well. All right, gonna get to it. All right, there's my helper. Not being very much help. So I cut it down to size, boom, and then I drilled a hole here to use as a stop. Now what I'm going to do is I'll put it up here, and I will center it in the channel. Let's see, it does fit, I promise. Again, one hand. Okay, there we go. So, and I'll center up there, put one screw in the center to hold it up, make sure I've got it lined up and even end to end, and then I'll put in the rest of the screws. All right, let me show you how I'm going to mount the bracket. I took the old one off, and I can kind of see where it was and where the center of it was. So I'm going to match this one up like that. Going to use a Sharpie to mark where the holes should be, right in the center of them. Let me pull that tight. Right there. I'm going to drill some pilot holes just to make it a little bit easier. Just enough to get it started. The screws aren't going to be close to the edge, so it shouldn't be a problem. If it's poking through the side or splitting the wood or anything like that. And they are pretty narrow diameter too, so. All right. If I can get one started just a little bit here. I've got the door pressing against the wall on the other side so I can get some leverage. Oops. I won't tighten them up until I get them all in and started. Tight. All right, now I got a couple of them a little bit too tight. I think the bracket was a little bit bent, so it started to seat up a little bit early. Yeah, I think this one right here. There you go. All right, so now just seat these all in. Go. This one's a little bit of a bitch here. There you go. All right, so now what I'll do is get them I'm gonna have to line that up a little bit and not going over. I'm gonna have to hit it a little. Oh, there it is. All right, so now what I'll do is I'll get the hardware mounted to this and slid into the guide rail, and then I'm going to put the guide rail up in there and then mount it in place. I'll get to it in a sec. All right, I did get that straightened out. It was a little crooked, so I just loosened the screws and straightened up. Now I'll put on the wheel mechanism. It's pretty simple, just slide it right in. I didn't even have to adjust any of this. Just as it came from the factory is fine. Put this in there, slide it in, and then they give you these plastic clips, and you just kind of wedge them underneath this bolt, and boom, put it in, and there you go. I'll do the other one, which is down lower, you can't see, but I ain't moving the camera 100 times. It takes me forever if I do that. So, all right, so that one's on. Now what I'll do is I'll take my rail, I'm gonna slide it on, make sure I've got it on the right way, and then I'm gonna lift up the door and put it underneath the valance and get it lined up there. Get this centered in the channel, put one screw in to hold it in place, make sure everything's lined up, and then just anchor the rest of it in. Show you how I get that done. I'll just make sure that I've got this lined up all the way flush against the far end here. And I'm going to go through and line it up and put some anchors in. The screws they give you for this are pretty short, but I may use the ones that were previously there. They're just a little bit longer, so I feel better using those. So that's what I'm going to do. Again, make sure it's all the way flush, and it is. I'm going to do it mid-span now, take some of the weight. There you go. Just finish up the screws, put that stop screw in at the very end so that it doesn't fall off the other way. As a matter of fact, I'll do that first. You don't put that one all the way in. You just put it halfway in so that it hangs down a little bit and it'll stop the door. So when it gets there, it stops. Perfect. So there you go. That was the right way of doing it. And it didn't take too long. Moving the camera around took the longest. There you go. Yeah, a little bit stripped, but you know, it happens. And then I got one right here. This one's a little bit of an angle, but and then one more. Yep, right here. Well, okay, there you go. Not sure how long that took me. I had to move the camera around a couple of times, so that took some time. As I said, to cut down the rail, use this as the template, cut it down with just a fine-tooth blade on my Sawzall. That was easy enough. yeah, so the kit from Home Depot is about 45 bucks. I'll put a link down below so you can find that. I'm not sure if I'm going to replace the other one when it fails or if I'm going to get ahead of it and do it now. 45 bucks, it doesn't take that long, easy enough to do. Maybe I'll do that. Preventative, right? Okay, well, as usual, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe. And if you think anybody else will get value from this video, please share it out to them. Question, comments down below. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time. See ya.